All right, so today we're going to go ahead and take a look at the Bodum French press. If you don't know what a French press is, basically it's just a home coffee maker. So this particular French press, I've had a couple of them. Usually they're made out of metal, but this one is made out of plastic. As you can see here, they come in a couple of different pieces. So basically you got this right here. It's the plunger. Down here is the filter. It's not a paper filter. These are usually a metal filter, and around here it's like a metal spring, and that's meant to push the filter on the edge of this glass rim right here. On this particular piece, it's made of glass. I think that there's a couple that they make out of plastic. I'm not too sure. I probably wouldn't buy one that's made out of plastic just because you never know if they're made out of BPAs or not. So this one's made out of glass. However, the handle and the base, it looks like it's made out of plastic. So the way I use this is usually in the morning. I'm like most people, I like to have a good cup of coffee. When I was younger, I would drink sweet coffee. So I would go to Starbucks and get something like a caramel macchiato. The older I get, the more that I like the strong, bold flavor of coffee. So this French press, if you've never used one, basically what you do is you put the coffee in the bottom there. I've already put a little bit of coffee there, and you're gonna put water in here and then let it sit for a little bit. You might mix it up with a spoon, and then after you've let it sit there for a little bit, you're gonna put the plunger in here to the top, like so, and then you'll just push it right down. And that way it keeps the coffee down there at the bottom, the coffee grounds, and then the brewed coffee will pass right through this metal filter or drainer, whatever you want to call it, and then you just pour it out right through here. And then because the coffee doesn't go through a paper filter, I found that the coffee comes out much blacker and more like a full flavor. However, the coffee grounds do contain oil because they're beans. So if you're kind of worried about that, then this may not be the best type of coffee maker for you. But for me, I don't really mind. I don't really care too much about that. But if you do, something to think about. If you use a regular coffee drip system, you probably know they have a paper filter as the coffee is coming through the machine before it goes into your cup and before it goes to the pitcher. This one doesn't have that. Again, it's just the metal filter right here. So the oils can go through. And for me, the oils have a lot of the coffee flavor that I like. So that's why this coffee filter works for me. Let's go ahead and try to make a cup. Again, I've already put the coffee in here. I just put a little bit just to kind of show you how this contraption works. So basically you put a little bit of coffee here. If you grind your own coffee, you want to make sure that you grind it in a coarse grind. You don't want to grind it too thin or too powdery, because otherwise the coffee grounds could possibly pass through this metal filter. So we got a coarse grind in here, and then I got my coffee cup here. All right, so we got a pot of hot water. I've already boiled it and let it sit for a little bit. You don't want to pour boiling hot water in there because it can actually scorch the coffee. Basically, you just pour the hot water in here like that. Okay, so there we go. We have the hot water that I poured in. As you can see, the coffee grounds right there, some of them came to the top. Looks pretty nice. So depending on how you like to make your coffee, you may want to mix it up. Make sure all the coffee grounds are covered in water. All right, so I got a spoon right here. Basically what I like to do, you may do it different, but I like to mix it up. And that way everything's submerged in water, and you just kind of let it sit there for a little bit. Okay, so we've been letting it sit there for a little while. As you can see, the steam is still coming off the top of the French press. And we're gonna take this plunger and you just pop it right in here like so. And then you just plunge it right down. And you can see the coffee separating from the grounds on the bottom. And then usually once everything's separated, then you can just go ahead and pour yourself a nice cup of coffee. So we'll go ahead and do that right here, and you'll see the coffee comes out pretty dark. Okay, so there's my cup of coffee, and as you can tell, this coffee is really dark, just like the way that I like it. If you don't like the strong flavor of coffee, this may not be for you. However, you can go ahead and add milk, of course, or your own creamer afterwards. But for me, I just like to drink my coffee black. So there you have it. That is the Bodum French press. Pretty good quality. I've had it for probably a couple of years now. I use it pretty much all the time. I guess the only downfall I would say about this particular pot, it's kind of big. I would say you can fit probably 4 or 5 cups out of it. I guess it feels a little wasteful to use this every morning, but for me it's fine. I drink probably about 3 cups a day. So sometimes the coffee will just sit in the pot, and then when I'm ready to drink the rest of it, I'll just pop it in the microwave. But yeah, hopefully you found the video useful. If so, click thumbs up, and hope to see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.